Now, different people are affected in different ways by these things. A food additive can affect any part of your body. It can affect your skin, bringing out hives or eczema or other rashes. It can affect your lungs. In fact, research has shown that food dyes and these other petrochemicals can bring on asthmatic attacks. They can affect even your brain. So when you get a migraine headache, it may be that you've been exposed to something that has a petroleum base. It could be something you ate. It could even be something that you breathe. So different people react in different ways. Some people will have a difficulty focusing. They'll have difficulty, a child may have difficulty paying attention, sitting still. Sounds a whole lot like ADHD, doesn't it? The problems of behavior and learning, what is being called ADHD now, used to be mostly confined to English-speaking countries. But as more and more American junk food is exported overseas, we are hearing back from other countries all over the world that the children are having more and more trouble. They are having difficulty focusing in school. They're having difficulty sitting still, behaving. They're having much more different problems of all types, various health problems. Now, on this display here, these are some of the typical reactions that individuals might have to eating these additives. Not everybody is affected, or at least not everybody is obviously affected. But we think that since research has shown that these additives cause behavior problems, learning problems, and health problems, they can trigger nerve damage, they can trigger immune system damage, they can trigger DNA damage, reproductive damage, cancer. We know that probably most people who eat them are being affected adversely in one way or another. But these are the squeaky wheels, these are the children who have the most obvious problem. Now, I have some samples of schoolwork there. All of the examples on this side here are of children who are eating the typical American diet of artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. And you'll see that they're having trouble focusing, the motor control is bad. You'll see what looks like dyslexia over there on that one with the red border. And over here, we have examples of the same children and their schoolwork when they've stopped eating foods with artificial colors, flavors, and all. Now, if you can see this, this is the same child as Mike Smith over there. If you look at that example over there, you would say, well, he must have a disorder, he must have dyslexia. Well, this is the same child 3 weeks later. What happened to his disorder? And what about the child who's trying to color the coloring book page there, who has very poor motor control? Here's the same child when she's not eating these additives. So do these children actually have a disorder? If you have a disorder, it's not likely to go away in a very short time. Now, the interesting thing about avoiding these chemicals is that they really are fairly simple to avoid. All of the food over there on that side, these are all products that would not be acceptable on the Feingold program because they contain one or more of those additives that we've listed. However, everything on this side is acceptable. So instead of that cake mix, which has vanillin, that's the word for artificial vanilla, I would buy this cake mix here, which doesn't have it. Instead of the neon orange mac and cheese mix, I would buy the white cheddar mac and cheese mix. The same thing with all of these other products. Now, you'll notice that these are products that are made by the same manufacturer. They make one version that contains an additive that would eliminate it from our program, and they contain one that looks almost identical, seems almost the same, but it does not contain these additives. So why would a manufacturer make two versions? Well, a lot of these products have been around for a long time. Here's a good example. And a lot of people still eat this. However, there's a growing number of consumers who don't want to eat artificial colors, flavors, and things like monosodium glutamate, which many of us would prefer to avoid. So for consumers who will not buy the original product, the manufacturer will come out with a new version. And here's a good example of a delicious cheese snack that doesn't have any of these additives in. So it really is surprisingly easy. You can go into your supermarket, and by making some simple changes in the groceries that go into your shopping cart, you can really get rid of the worst of the additives. Now, to make it a little easier, the Feingold Association volunteers put together material. This is the material that we wished we had when we were starting out. The newest food lists are getting up to about 200 pages long, and this is pushing 20,000. We estimate there are about 20,000 acceptable brand name products in one of these books. And this means that you can go to the supermarket, you can buy anything that's in here, and be confident that it is free of these additives that we're eliminating. We also put out a handbook, recipes, all the step-by-step information that makes it easier to give this a try. We believe that a lot of families who are faced with problems, a lot of children who are having behavior and learning problems, don't have a disorder. And why not see if you can figure out what the causes are? Now, food additives are not the only things that are triggering problems like ADD, ADHD, but they're a huge one, and they're one of the easiest things to eliminate. We think when a child's having a problem that the parent deserves to have complete, accurate information about all of the options that are out there, not just be given one option that that particular practitioner happens to favor. We're not anti-anything, we're not anti-medication, we just think that it makes sense to figure out what's causing the problem. The main purpose of our volunteer nonprofit, when we've been around for a very long time, our main purpose is to make it easy for somebody who's interested in trying this out, to see whether getting rid of the petroleum-based additives might make a difference in how you feel or how your child behaves or his ability to sleep at night or the lack of temper tantrums that you're hoping for. We show people how to try this out. And we have lots of information. We have loads of information on our website. And we enjoy doing this work because it has been so successful for us and for the families we've helped. So if you'd like more information, give us a call. We'll do what we can to help you. Thanks.